So what I've got so far is a series of tack welds all the way around the perimeter of the entire box, and then a couple up the seam here. And look, it's a perfectly flush fit all the way around. You do not want any gap anywhere, neither for aesthetics nor for structure. You want it to be flush. And then your weld will actually fill in on the inside here and provide all the structure in this situation. Now, I will be doing a stitch weld to where I will start midway and then get to a tack weld and stop. Start midway to the tack, midway to the tack, midway to the tack, midway to the tack, and do 50% all the way around, and let that cool down for a while, and then come back through and fill in the remaining gaps. And you choose to start in the middle and then end at the tack weld because, well, you can hear it. So hopefully the audio on this will come out in such a way that you can discern that. The one thing you got to watch out for is it creates this bead at the end, and if you ever have it explode on you when you first start using a welder like this, it's because that bead is giving you difficulties. If instead with aluminum you can just break it off that easily, you get it to where you don't have that bead. It's just a very small tip that it's going to arc against. It starts much easier, it doesn't blow out, and you have less issues. So. Alright, there I missed. There we go. And kind of show you, I'm holding this right here in the corner, and you can see that I'm going to be pulling it in this direction. So I actually do have a forward push angle, even though I'm actually dragging, and that is absolutely key, because then by having this sitting here, I can keep it precisely in the center without having to watch it, because like I said, I can't see quickly enough to be able to react and avoid any blowouts. It's such a thin material that you just have to move. You can't wait around. Alright, so you can see I've got, my camera phone will refocus here. There we go. I've got a pretty shiny weld, and I've got that white oxide around it with the black soot outside of that. And these tend to be some of the more strong welds I ever get around to. And you can also see that it's, maybe you can't see too well, the size of the weld isn't much thicker than my base material. It's about 1/8 of an inch to 3/16 profile here. And for the purposes of making a sign, of course, these welds are plenty strong, especially once you get 100%. And I would only go with this single pass. I wouldn't do a double or triple pass, even for a larger, more structural box. That's just not really relevant. And something to note, before you even get this far, you will want to have made sure that your sides here are perpendicular to your base. And you can do that very simply with a square like this. You just raise the end up a little bit higher than the base of this, and you slide up into the corner around any welds or any tack welds to be able to check your that it's perpendicular, but then also measure, across to make sure that it's the correct dimension. Because when you have, now this is only a 5 1/4 inch wide, tall side, but if you have a foot tall or 1.5 foot tall, it's very easy for those tack welds to make it lean in or tilt out per se. And you want to have that perfectly perpendicular and exactly where you want it before you get to the point of this first 50% stitch welding situation, because at this point to change that is a bit of a challenge. But when you're working with just the tacks, they're very easy to bend into place. So I'm going to finish up and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done.